going on, Jerome's? Your Minnesota Vikings are 5-0 heading into their bye week. Cabo on 3. Woo. All right, and they've done it against some of the best teams in the National Football League, sitting on top of the NFC North division, just chilling. One of these things is not like the others. No problem, man. And a slinging Sam Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, looking good and looking comfortable. Had a tough game against the Jets. Whatever. Look at the rest of the season, what he's done against some tough-ass defenses as well. Sam Darnold, the offense is certainly going to be fine, right? And also the addition of Aaron Jones, hopefully that hip is going to be good to go. Justin freaking Jefferson, still wide receiver 1 in this league. And the defense. Brian Flores got a special unit going on, man. Which is absolutely kicking ass and taking names. You'll love to see that. Also, special teams-wise, will the thrill come in? Knocking on all the wood. Please stay golden, pony boy. That's right. But, of course, since we're just such a miserable bastard, we have to nitpick things. Here are 11 things that the Vikings need to improve / change during the bye week. Number 1, restore Sam Darnold. So like we said, a.k.a. America's quarterback, has been looking really, really damn good. He had one tough game. It sort of is what it is, but is still tied for the league lead with touchdown passes with 11. Top 5 quarterback rating, still above 100. And he's still having a career season, right? And it's something that both he and Kevin O'Connell need to learn from, is that, hey, was it a bad day against the Jets, one of the best defenses in the league, in a rainy day, inclement weather, and no Aaron Jones? Yeah. And did you force some things? Yes. Yes, he certainly did. But when you needed to drive at the end of the game, they got things done. And that's a little bit of a silver lining there. Also, Sam Darnold's going to be fine, because you hate to look ahead, right? But I feel like Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell and Jefferson and Addison and Hockenson, by the way, they're going to put up biblical numbers on some of these teams, man. Not going to lie there. Next up, change / improvement number 2, turnovers. Ay, Chihuahua. So the Vikings early on weren't bad, but they've been slipping into bad habits. Now, defensively, they've been great. 13 takeaways, second in the league, which is phenomenal, but the Vikings offense has 9. 9 turnovers, 29th in the league, so third worst. They have 4 interceptions, 5 fumbles. Got to take care of the ball. And, like the Naylor fumble just like discombobulated that entire game. Like, the Vikings probably win the Packers game by 40 if Naylor doesn't misplay that one in the sun. It happens, man. But they got to take care of the football. Kevin O'Connell, on 22-0 or something like that when they tie or win the turnover battle, and that's something that they got to get shored up. It's something that they emphasized early this season, and also taking away the ball, which is important as well, but you got to keep hammering that home. Take care of the GD football. Next up, number 3, second half adjustments. So the Vikings offense scored 9 points in each of the last 2 second halves against the Packers and the Jets. But like we said, they did sack up at the end of both of those games, put together a drive, and get a game-bracing field goal, which is great. But at a certain point, like, it's awesome, phenomenal that the Vikings get off to those fast starts. They built up double-digit to nothing leads in each of the last 4 games against the Niners, Texans, Packers, and Jets. Oh my! But there'll be a game where you don't get off to that fast start. Maybe you stumble a little bit. You have to be able to out-adjust and out-coach and outplay in the second half. They got to get things going. So momentum certainly is a thing. The Vikings offense hasn't had it in each of the last 2 second halves. Next up, number 4, bench Ed Ingram. It's time. It's time, man. Now, I have tried to give the benefit of the doubt, and Ed Ingram is solid as a run blocker, but pass protection, that quick interior pressure, you see teams attacking it over and over and over again. And I think that also that Ed Ingram is hindering Garrett Bradbury, because I think that a lot of defenses are targeting that A gap in between them. So once Dalton Risner gets back off of injured reserve, that back is good to go. The fact that he traveled to London, probably a good sign that he had international travel with that back issue. He's got to replace Ed Ingram, and we got to be good to go there. Like, Darisaw has been playing great. Brian O'Neill, frankly, has been playing like an all-pro. Bradbury in spurts has been fine. Blake Brandle's been solid outside of penalties, but Ed Ingram has still been the weak link. He's allowed 17 pressures and 3 sacks. In terms of PFF pass blocking grade, he's 60th out of 61 qualifying guards, which is not good. It's not good, man. So a change, it has to be made there. That's why you brought back Dalton Risner in the first place. So once he gets off of IR, unless Ed Ingram bounces back significantly over the next couple weeks, got to replace him. right? Because otherwise he will cost you an important game. Next up, number 5. Don't force things with Justin Jefferson. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Justin Jefferson as much as the next guy, but it did seem like the last couple of games they've been just trying to do too much, especially the Jets game, right? And Kevin O'Connell and Darnold too dialed in, too target fixated with Jefferson because, I mean, the coverage ain't going away. He's still going to be pressed and double and triple teamed and bracketed everywhere that he goes. So use that. And the Vikings were very good early in a bit of jiu-jitsu using this defensive strength against them and going elsewhere, going away from Justin Jefferson. All of a sudden, then you have him singled up because they're concerned about Addison. They're concerned about Hockenson when he gets back. They're concerned about Jalen Speedy Naylor and that deep ball. Woo! And things work out. Like, I understand like the whole Randy ratio thinking about things. And yes, Jefferson, F it, 18's open down there somewhere, but Jefferson will get his. But let it be in the flow of the game versus trying to force things to make it happen. Next up, number 6. Someone needs to run besides Aaron Jones. So Jones dealing with that hip/hamstring issue, is peeling off 4.9 yards per carry. Also, he's up there amongst the league leaders in yards after contact. And Ty Chandler's looked good in spurts, but he's only averaging 3.5 yards per carry. The consistency hasn't been there. But like Kevin O'Connell mentioned in his presser on Tuesday, a couple of his good runs over the last couple of games have been called back by penalty, but that's something you can build on. But you honestly have to consider bringing in another running back. They just brought Myles Gaskin in, have to update the graphic back to the 53 as they're playing those elevation practice squad games. Tiny's back on the practice squad, but you have to consider trading for a Nick Chubb of the Browns or Travis Etienne or bringing in someone because Jones has had a history of health issues and you've been trying to use him like a bell cow early on. That's not going to hold up. Now, do you want him good in October? Or do you want him good in January, February? That's a decision they have to make. I like Ty Chandler a lot. Can he be a lead back? I'd prefer not to find out. We'll put it that way. 7. Third and fourth down and short yardage, right? So they need to pick things up more consistently, and that comes back to the running game, right? So the Vikings, third down offense was non-existent against the Jets after Jones went out because, I mean, number one, the Jets defense is fantastic, but you're getting second and long versus second and short, third and long versus third and short, and it's just not good. And Kevin O'Connell's play calling is fantastic, except for I feel like third, fourth inches, I feel like he tries to do too much. And yeah, I mean, it's great when you throw the bomb on fourth and 1 and you catch them by surprise, you get a touchdown, you're lauded. But being able to consistently pick up a yard, that might be what the season comes down to, right? And execution in those spots. I know they had that 4th and inches with Jalen Speedy Naylor. Probably would have had it if he didn't slip, but frankly, I mean, I think that he did get it. But bad spot. It is what it is. But being able to consistently impose your will, that comes back to running the ball. That comes down to execution. All right, and so far it's been a little bit hodgepodge by Kevin O'Connell. Vikings are 15th in the league on third down on offense at 40.7%. That certainly could get a lot better. Next up, change/improvement number 8, shore up punt units. So I didn't want to just call it a Caleb Evans, but that's what it comes down to, right? And not just the Jets game. Over the last couple of games, the gunners on punt as well as the corners on punt return that haven't been doing their respective units anything beneficial, right? So you've had penalties, you've been giving up hidden yardage, and it's something that coach has to fix, right? And whether it's personnel, whether it's scheme, whether it's whatever, I mean, they got to get things figured out because everyone focuses on the offense and defense, but special teams, like, hey, if you miss a tackle on special teams on punt coverage, all of a sudden they got a short field for a touchdown or a field goal as opposed to having to march down. And same thing with punt return, right? And that goes beyond like the Jalen Naylor mix-up, et cetera, but also the whole not being able to recover a muff as well as Diamond Dallas Turner down again. That's still funny, man. But yeah, they have to tighten things up on both punt units. Next up, number 9. Clean up penalties. So this has been a little bit maddening. And penalties and turnovers, and the fact the Vikings are still 5-0, despite consistently shooting themselves in the foot. And that's something that has to drive Flores and Kevin O'Connell insane. Absolutely does. The Vikings have 37 penalties, 8th most in the NFL, 281 penalty yards. And it's just, to a degree, like you can live with some penalties, right? I mean, a holding that could go either way, a DPI that could go either way, at least you're being aggressive, that's fine. But pre-snap penalties, illegal procedure, illegal formation, illegal shift, the play clock running out. I mean, those things add up, and those things can kill a drive, and they're just as bad as a sack, right? They can turn a very promising drive into a punt. So, clean those things up and operationally, get things back up to snuff. Next up, number 10, don't get complacent. So, yes, you are 5-0. And yeah, I mean, you've played a gauntlet. The Giants are suddenly looking good. The Niners, I mean, a little bit rough go of it, but they're still one of the best teams in the league. Texans, one of the best young teams in the league. The Packers, allegedly. Jets, one of the best defenses. Aaron Rodgers, I'm told he's a legend, right? But yeah, I mean, the Lions game coming up is a big-time game. Rams going to be huge, too, on a short week. But you can't get complacent. You can't. It's really tough. But you can't look at the meat of the schedule, Colts, Jaguars, Titans, Bears, Falcons, Cardinals, Bears again, just be like, yum time. I mean, in the back of your mind, you might be able to think that, but every single game is a battle. Any given Sunday, anyone can win. And, I mean, the 2016 Vikings, even though they're nothing like them, they started off 5-0, they went 8-8. 2003 Vikings, even though this team is nothing like that team, 6-0, finished 9-7. Right, so keep the pedal to the metal. You're in the catbird seat right now. You have the 1 seed and also the NFC Norris lead in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pants. I know that's bye week. It's bye week advice. Anyways, lastly, number 11. Get ready to kick the Lions' ass. So you got 2 weeks. Lions have a big-time game against the Cowboys this Sunday, and the Vikings have 2 weeks to prepare for the Lions. And it's at U.S. Bank Stadium. Welcome back to the House of Pain. The Vikings have won 2 tough games away from home, and bring it. I mean, everyone's getting healthy. Maybe Hockenson returns, maybe he doesn't. Maybe Aaron Jones returns, maybe he doesn't. No factor. But be physical with a physical team. Punch them in the mouth. Have there be no doubt that, hey, the North runs through the great state of Minnesota. Do that up, man. Oh, also, Flores has 2 weeks to get ready for Jared Goff. Baby. But that's it. That's at 11. Bye week improvements, changes the Vikings need to make. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section below. And you know what to do. Skol. Production value.